That was the mayor of London offering up the British capital as an alternative World Cup venue for 2018 should Russia lose the tournament. But as you heard, Russia's sports minister is adamant it will go ahead. And yet a huge scandal in world football is focusing on allegations that officials took bribes to ensure both Russia and Qatar won the rights to stage the tournaments. And there are new revelations that the staging of previous tournaments was also rigged. Our business correspondent Owen Fairclough is with me. And Owen, now 2 other World Cups are part of this inquiry.
Elaine, we'll get back to the future in just a moment, but really the past is what's the focus for these investigators here in the US and Switzerland into the biggest corruption scandal ever to engulf the World Cup. We're talking first of all about France 1998, the finest moment in French football history when the host nation lifted the World Cup. And yet the integrity of that tournament is now under question. That's after a former FIFA executive admitted to taking bribes for staging that World Cup back in 1998. You can see the scenes there in the French capital after the French team won that tournament. Now, authorities here in the US have known for the last 2 years about this admission of bribery for the France 1998 World Cup, but it's only just been released now as part of a plea bargain and as part of this huge, unprecedented investigation into what's been going on at FIFA for the last 20 years or so. Remember, we're talking about a number of executives from FIFA and marketing executives who are alleged to have taken bribes worth up to $150 million for staging tournaments and for lucrative marketing deals. And as you said, a huge money trail is starting to emerge now. It's raising very important questions about how world football has been governed for the last 20 years or so. And some of it is connected with one key individual.
A defining moment in football. The 2010 World Cup on African soil for the first time and attended by Nelson Mandela, the former president, synonymous with the end of apartheid in South Africa. Now its legacy is at risk. US prosecutors allege South African football officials paid a $10 million bribe to secure the rights to host the tournament in their country. The government denies it, insisting the money was a donation for football development overseas.
We still need the United States authorities to share with us the basis of their allegations. The fact that a payment of 10 million rands, US dollars, was made to an approved program above board does not equate to bribery. Those who allege should prove their allegations.
South Africa says it donated $10 million to help build this sports training centre in Trinidad and Tobago, part of a World Cup legacy programme to support African diaspora. But it's emerged the money was first transferred to FIFA in Switzerland, then to Trinidadian and former FIFA Vice President Jack Warner. Australian football officials made a similar $500,000 donation to the Federation of Football Associations for North and Central America and the Caribbean, at the time run by Warner.
In 2022.
Australia, beaten by Qatar in the bid to stage the 2022 World Cup, is demanding the money back. South Africa insists its $10 million was genuinely invested. FIFA says the organisation was just the middleman for the payment to Warner.
FIFA is not responsible for a decision that was taken by a party, nor responsible for the way it was then managed by the person tasked with it. That person is Jack Warner. We were simply transferring a payment, which was validated by the Finance Commission of FIFA, by the president of the Finance Commission of FIFA.
And there are key questions about Warner, who was forced out of FIFA over corruption 4 years ago. Last week he was arrested, then released on bail as part of the current joint US and Swiss criminal inquiry. He insists he's innocent, having cut his ties with football and moved into politics. But where that $10 million ended up is central to the biggest and most complex scandal ever to hit world football.